Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead and happy midwinter. We are going to make good today on a promise that we made when we did our video on how we store bulk beans. And we are going to be making a meal in a jar. This time it's going to be Louisiana Red Beans. And I'm so excited about this. I can't tell you how excited I am. And the reason for my excitement is this recipe for pressure canning some kidney beans can use bacon. Can you believe it? This is one of only, I think, 3 recipes that I have ever found that allows us to use cured meat in the recipe. So I'm excited to show this to you. And thank you so much to all of our brand new subscribers. My gosh, we are just getting hundreds of new subscribers, and it's all because of the video we did on gadgets for seniors and everybody else that we published 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that's just the gift that keeps on giving, and we're just so thrilled to have so many of you join us. We are going to be working with level 1 and level 2 in our food storage, and because there are so many of you that are new, I'm going to put a card up here in the corner that will give you a link to the video where we explained leveling up our food storage and what we do for level 1, for level 2, and level 3. So what we are doing with our level 1 today is we are using our kidney beans. And you may remember, if you watched our video on how we store bulk beans, we filled this up to the top with our new kidney beans. And I've now taken 2 pounds out of the top of this bucket. And we are going to, they have been rinsed and sorted and drained. And I'm going to put them in this 6-quart Dutch oven. Now the recipe is a Ball Blue Book recipe. It is online, and I will be putting the link to the recipe right below this video. I am doubling the recipe. The recipe as shown makes 3 quarts. I'm going to be making 6, and if we have any left over, sometimes the measurements are just a little bit off. So between 6 and 7 quarts. So the recipe calls for 1 ham hock. Our butcher did not have any ham hocks, but he had ham shanks, which is the other end of the ham. Same difference, except these are just larger, about twice as large. So that works perfectly for our recipe because I was going to double it anyway. So I'm nesting that ham hock right in here with the beans. It is very important that we follow the instructions for how to do these beans. It parallels with the USDA way of doing beans with just a couple of deviations, but it's critical that we follow it exactly. So now I'm going to fill this with water to about 2 inches above what's here. So I'll be right back. So here we are. I wanted to cover as much of the ham shank that I could without having way too much water in there. So I'm going to put this on the back burner behind me, and we're going to bring it to a good rolling boil for 15 minutes. And then we're going to, and I'm going to leave it covered, then we will turn the heat off and let those beans rehydrate for about an hour. So I'm going to get started on that. So I just wanted to go over the rest of the ingredients. These are a couple of quarts of our home canned chicken broth. This is, the recipe calls for a couple of medium onions, about 2 cups for the single recipe. So I have some more onion chopping to do to bring that up to 4 cups for our doubling the recipe. It calls for 1/4 pound of bacon. So I have here 1/2 pound of bacon. I'm going to be cutting this in 1-inch strips and cooking it until it is rendered. This is some andouille sausage. And this is the sausage that we made ourselves. It's a little bit hot, too hot for me to eat just plain and for Jim too. So I'm using just a little bit less. It calls for 1 pound, which means we would need 2 pounds for this recipe, and I have just a little bit over 1 pound here, which is going to be enough for us. And then I have some bay leaves, some thyme, and some salt. And so what we're going to do is get this going, and while it is sitting about 15 minutes before it is finished up, then I will bring you back and we'll start getting these other things ready to go. So when the beans are done, we can move right straight forward to getting the rest of it done. So we'll see you then. We have about 15 minutes left for our beans to soak, and boy, have they swelled up. And this kitchen is smelling wonderful. Boy, that ham shank is terrific. So I'm going to take our 1/2 pound of bacon and cut it in 1-inch strips and just drop it into the pan where we're going to cook it, render it, and then we'll add the andouille. That 1/2 pound of this thick cut bacon is 4 strips. So 4 strips going into at least 6 quarts, possible 7, is quite a bit less than 1 strip of bacon per quart. Again, I just can't believe that I've found this recipe where we can use bacon. I'm very excited. And ball recipes are tested recipes, so we can always use them. So I will be cooking these and then bring you back when we're ready to add the andouille. Adding the andouille. All right, we'll cook this now until the andouille is browned, and we'll be back. All right, I have the andouille and the bacon draining out here on the side. I'm now adding the onions. And the salt, which is about 4 teaspoons. Salt and thyme. And with the thyme is also 4 teaspoons. So here's a heaping tablespoon, which is about the right amount. And now we cook the onions until they are browned. So we'll be back when this is done. All right, these onions have browned. They've also almost completely deglazed the bottom of the pan with the moisture that they gave up while they were browning. And so we are now ready to put it all together. So the beans are done with their soaking. As you can see, I pulled out the shank and it's been cooling for about 5 minutes. The very important next step is for us to drain these beans. This water or liquid in here is what is the soaking water. We did a fast soak according to the recipe. It's also one of the ways that the USDA recommends that we prepare dry beans before canning. And so this soaking water leached out some things from the beans that we don't want to continue having in our food. And so don't make the mistake of saying, oh wow, since we cooked that shank in here, this water is really delicious. Well, it might be, but it also contains stuff that we don't want. So we're going to drain it. While those drain, I'm going to use this same pot and heat our chicken broth to a boil. And getting that all ready. Our beans are drained, in they go. In goes the meat. I'm going to stir this up. Ooh. Ooh, looks so yummy. Smells so yummy. Now we're going to reheat all of this, and while we reheat this, we want the beans boiling hot, but we are not boiling them in any liquid. So I'm going to turn the heat low, add a lid to this pan. This is my all-time favorite kitchen pan. You make jam in this, it's a jam pan. And I'll put it in the products list for those of you that have never seen me use this before. You'll see me use this a lot. So I'll put it in the product list below. And I'm going to pick the meat off of this while we let this mixture heat up a little bit so we can get it into the jars hot. Then we will add the boiling broth to top it off, and then we'll be ready to take them out to the canner. So we'll get back to you when we are ready to jar this up. Well, I pulled this much meat off of that shank, and of course this doesn't have a lid, so I just used one from a large pan. And these are now heated. So I'm going to just add this meat in. Stir it around, and we're ready to jar. I'm just going to drop a bay leaf, or pieces thereof, in the bottom of each of these 6 jars. About the equivalent of one. These were the bay leaves we picked up at the Mexican store, Three Amigos, and they are really, oh, they smell so fantastic. All right, I like very much how this recipe is set up, because what they want us to do is to put the solids in first before we add the liquid. I love this because then it means that the solids are equally distributed, and we only fill the jar about 3/4 of the way full, and then we fill the rest with the boiling broth. It's just such a much more economical way of doing it. I really struggle with trying to equalize the solids when I have things like beef stew or whatever. So I think we're close enough to 3/4 in all of them. And the pot is empty. So in the sink it goes. Checking our broth. And so now we fill to within 1 inch of the top, leaving a head space of 1 inch. The beans will continue to hydrate and soak up most of this liquid, so I'm not concerned at all about it. We are going to run out of broth. I thought 2 quarts would be enough. It calls for 1 quart, and we're doubling it. So I'm going to quickly make some more broth with some bouillon, and we'll be back shortly. We are back in business. This took just a couple of minutes to heat up, so we are good at boiling hot. And we're going to finish off this jar and this jar. Now we're going to debubble everything. All right, a couple of them need just a tad more. Okay. And now I have a paper towel dampened with a little bit of cider vinegar instead of white vinegar, so that's why that looks a little bit brown. But we're cutting the oil or the grease so that we can have a better chance of having a good seal on all of these. Putting on the lids. Rings, finger tight, and they are hot. The jars are hot. If I put the rings on quickly, then I can use the rings to lift them because they're not hot yet. All right, let's head outside and get these in the canner. The canner has simmering water in it, so we're going to put the quarts right down in. We put about 2.5 inches of water in the bottom, and the jars are sitting on a rack. So whatever the instructions are for your pressure canner, be sure that you follow them precisely. But jars always go on a rack, and they are never covered in water in a pressure canner when you're doing pressure canning. I sometimes use this pot for water bath canning, but for pressure canning, never, the jars are covered with water. The water now comes up to about halfway up the jars. You can come take a look. All right, putting the lid on, sliding it closed, and here is my weight. I'm not going to put the weight on yet because what has to happen now, for those of you that may be beginners, is that the pot has to boil and expel steam through this vent. We should see a lot of steam coming up through the vent. As soon as that steam has a real good flow, we start timing for 10 minutes so that that steam can replace all of the air inside the canner. After we have vented steam for 10 minutes, then we come back and put the weight over the top, and then we watch for this dial to come up to, for us, it's between 13. It usually hangs between 13 and 15. When it gets up to pressure, however your pressure canner notes that, then we start the timing. And the timing for this batch is 90 minutes. So we'll let it pressure for 90 minutes, then we'll turn the heat off, let it cool down completely on its own, and then we will come back when we're ready to take these out of the canner. So we will see you then. So it is mid-December here, and we can year-round. Right now it is 60 degrees, which is way above normal, but we'll take it. It's a beautiful day, but we have canned out here in the wintertime even when it has been snowing. So the reason that I can in the wintertime is a lot of times we can get the best buys on meats during the winter. So we just do it all the time. Anyway, this is done. It's been sitting here for about 5 minutes with the pressure down at 0. So we're going to open it. Oh my gosh, it smells heavenly. And here we are. So those beans have absorbed a lot of the water. They're up to the top now. The water is just a little bit oily, which means that we've had some minor siphoning, but it doesn't look like it's anything major. So we'll take these in the house and we'll see you in there. Well, here they are, and I hope the light is good enough that you can really see them. They're just absolutely beautiful.
I can see a few beans here and there.
Okay, so I am so thrilled with this recipe. These Louisiana red beans will be perfect as a side dish for maybe even for the chicken that we're going to have for dinner tonight, or they can be a meal in and of themselves. A quart like this would serve both Jim and me for a nice meal, along with some homemade bread. That would just be fantastic. So we are now adding 6 meals, and because these are canned, we started off with level 1 ingredients with our beans that are here in the pantry, and we've turned this now into level 2. Level 2 is 1 to 2 years of storage shelf life. And in reality, these would last even longer than that. We've had things last 5 and 6 and 7 years before with no trouble. But we count on having these for about a couple of years. We won't make it 2 years with these. We will rotate through these and then probably do another batch if they are as good as they smell, and which I'm sure that they will be. So this has been a really fun thing for us to do, bringing those bulk beans home, adding to our level 3 food storage with the long-term storage bulk beans, adding to our level 1, replenishing our pantry supply of kidney beans, and then using those for this level 2, which is intermediate level, lasting 1 to 2 years. So this is it, and we are so grateful to have had you with us. Hope you enjoyed this video and that you will try this recipe. Remember that the link will be below the video. So we will see you very soon for more videos.